Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, which is called the Soccer Arena. Which is called the Soccer Arena. The Soccer Arena is a show where only true world-class footballers make it onto the show. Now, if you look at my wall, you've got great players like Diego Maradona, Samuel Okbaraji, Dennis Bergkamp, Chris Waddle, Zinedine Zidane, JJ Okocha, Roger Miller, Paul Gascoigne. You got Paul Gascoigne there. You've got players like Ruud Gullit, Brazilian Ronaldo, Kechukwuche. You got players like the great Pele, the great Brazilian Pele. You got players like George Weah. You got players like Rashidi Yekini, Rio Ferdinand, and Patrick Vieira, and the list goes on and on and on. But today, my focus will be on Edgar Davids. That's who my focus will be on, Mr. Edgar Davids. Yes, and the name of today's program will be called Edgar Davids, the Pitbull of world football. Now, Edgar Davids is a young player that played for Ajax of Amsterdam's football academy. And he was so good in the academy that he broke into the Ajax team, Ajax first team. And I think I've got a picture of Edgar Davids playing for Ajax's first team. That's the one. I think that is the European Cup 1995 final. At that time, it wasn't really called the European. At that time, it wasn't really called the Champions League. At the time, it was called the European Cup. Yeah, that's what it was called then. And yeah, Edgar Davids, he won the European Cup with Ajax in 1995, and that was a remarkable achievement. Now, I think in 1995, Edgar Davids must have been a teenager himself. So that means that he showed tremendous amount of qualities to get to the level of winning the old European Cup against Juventus in 1995. Don't forget that the topic for today is Edgar Davids, the Pitbull of world football. Now, Edgar Davids, in my opinion, was a natural replacement for Frank Rijkaard. Rijkaard, the ex-Holland international, who went on to play for AC Milan, and he won trophies with AC Milan. Edgar Davids also, as a teenager, when I look back, I remember Edgar Davids playing for Ajax, and the very first time I saw Edgar Davids, he had dreadlocks, and he played in midfield with Clarence Seedorf, who had dreadlocks also. But the point of the matter is, I couldn't really differentiate between the two of them. But as I kept on watching Ajax and their philosophy and the way they play football, I began to realize the difference between Clarence Seedorf and Edgar Davids. Now, Edgar Davids in 1995, he was already breaking up attacks and setting up attacks. There weren't really too many midfielders that was doing that at the time, and that's a real quality that Edgar Davids really had. It was a great quality to have. Think about this, a teenager that no one has ever heard of. He was breaking up attacks and setting up attacks like Claudio Makalele. In my opinion, when I look at the way that Edgar Davids played the game throughout his career, I mean, in those days, I used to call him the new Brian Robson. Now, Brian Robson was the ex-England captain, I think in the 1986 World Cup, and he got injured. And he didn't play against Argentina, but in England, he was their captain. They used to call him Captain Marvelous and Captain Fantastic. Now, Edgar Davids had the same qualities as Brian Robson, because Davids could run with the ball at full speed. And not too many top professionals can do that. Davids can run with the ball at full speed, and he can change direction at full speed as well. When I look back at the Ajax team of 1995 that won the European Cup, Edgar Davids was a favorite of Louis van Gaal. Yes, he was a favorite of Louis van Gaal, and Edgar Davids was a first team player. So when I say Edgar Davids was a first team player, I don't really mean a player that played a bit, like come on as a sub and play 5 minutes. No, I mean that Edgar Davids was a player that was a first team player that played full 90 minutes. He was in the action from the beginning to the end. I would go as far as saying that Edgar Davids would probably be, or definitely be, one of the first names on Louis van Gaal's Ajax's team sheets. Now, one of the names, one of the first names on the manager's sheet, like I said, would be Edgar Davids. And that is why he's played for so many big teams like Ajax, Juventus. I think I've got a picture of Edgar Davids somewhere playing for Juventus. I don't know if that's right, or yeah, that would be Edgar Davids playing for Juventus. I see Alexandra Del Piero, another great Turin Italian giant. But that is Edgar Davids playing for Juventus. And he had a remarkable career. Yes, he had a remarkable career, Edgar Davids, in Italy. Playing for Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan. He played for, if I'm not mistaken, I think Edgar Davids played for Spurs also. Yeah, so that would be Edgar Davids when he, well, towards the ending of his career, he came to play in England and he played for Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, he played for Tottenham Hotspurs. And Tottenham Hotspurs, they've had some great managers themselves as well. They've had the great Terry Venables. They've had Glenn Hoddle. They've had Ozzy Adilis. But Davids did truly play for Spurs as well. And he was a Holland international. I think I got a picture of Davids as a Holland international. Would that be the picture there? Yeah. That's Edgar Davids playing for Holland. That's Edgar Davids in action, playing for Holland. Yeah, so you don't play for all these big teams if you don't have true ability. You must have ability to play for big teams like that. And Edgar Davids, yeah, he played for so many big teams. And for me, I think the last team Edgar Davids played for in his career would be, where's that picture? I've got a picture somewhere. But yeah, there it is, there. Would be Duck Barnett. And that shows me how humble Edgar Davids really is. Because I don't know, maybe when he played for Barnet, I don't even know if they were in the league. But the man humbled himself. After playing and having such a glittering career, Edgar Davids played for Barnet as well. I think Barnet were in the National League Division 3 or something like that. But they were a small team. But Edgar Davids was playing week in, week out for Barnet Football Club, which is somewhere in London or in the outskirts of, yeah, it's in North London somewhere. Davids is a player that had very fast feet in dribbling, so he can go past players at full speed. Dribbling was one of his qualities, and Davids also could defend. He was very good going backwards also. I think I'm going to leave this one here. This is the Soccer Arena, Edgar Davids, the Pitbull of world football, part 1. I'll catch you on the other side in part 2. Thank you.